Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this video we are going to see about how to edit data using pop-up model. So before getting started, as I always say, if you are new to this channel, do subscribe, hit on the bell icon so whenever I upload a new video, you will be getting a notification regarding it. Do follow me on my Instagram page as well. Let's get started. So here previously we have worked with view data, right? Let us open the code. This was the code, and here we have the class name. Once we click, we are using JQuery Ajax and copying this button and going to code.php and performing this action. So the code is here, view click button. So similar way, in this video what we are going to do is we have insert data, a pop-up model with a form, right? So this is a form. So for edit data, we should be able to edit this particular data and update. So for example, suppose I have forgotten to give email here. If my email ID is Sneha 001, here it is wrong, right? So there is a mistake here. I should have 001. For that, let us see how to edit this using a form itself. So first, let us open a code here. Go to index.php. This is our anchor tag for edit. Here, make sure you are giving hash here and adding a class for this button. So you can use either class or ID. So I'm going with class. If you are using ID, make sure you give a hash. Wherever I'm using class, I'm giving dot. So if you are using ID, use hash. So I'll tell edit data is my class name, not hyphen. When I click on this edit, I should get that pop-up model. So for this, we'll be using the same jQuery only. We are going to play with jQuery Ajax. So here, let us copy paste the same thing once again. Let me give a comment session here, like this is for view data. This code is for view data, and I'm gonna copy this and paste it here. And here we'll give a comment session and tell edit data. Let me copy this and close this, paste it. So now there is no confusion between these code. If I click on edit data, the view, here we have to change, right? So copy this, edit data. So this is a class. So I am using a dot here. Paste instead of view data, paste edit data. Let us comment this Ajax code for now. Let us test if this console is working properly. So this where user ID, we are just creating a variable taking the closest value. So closest of tr. So here previously we have done this. Let us open this. So here tr, closest of tr is td. So we are going to take class from td. In previous video we displayed it in a text format. In this video we are going to display it in a form, right? So for form we'll be using here val dot val. So now let us test this. Before refresh, click on refresh button, right click and inspect, go to control. Here click on edit. So when I click on edit data, this action is performing. Let me go and recheck once again. This is our document. So I should remove all this because this actions have been performed, right? So what I'll do is remove this and comment this Ajax fully. Now uncomment this line of code and go refresh. Now if I click on data, I'm getting the ID of that particular data. So using this ID only, we'll be getting all those data, which is email and phone number. So when I click on ID number 2, I'm getting 2. Again 1, I'm getting 1. Again click on 1. Here it is telling that 1 has been clicked twice. So now let us go. This is working fine. Similar way, we'll uncomment this and comment this thing. We are not going to take in an HTML format, so let us remove this, that is not required. and here view user model. So when I click on this edit button, I'll be getting this user model. I don't want that user model. I want another form, right? So already we have done that form thing here in insert model. Let us copy the same form. I'm going to copy. Below view model, I'll be pasting it. Here I'll change this to edit model and I'll copy this and paste it. Now here if you see, I want that model to be displayed. Before that, in Ajax, everything is going to be the same. We need a method which is of post. The URL is code.php. Here we are going to write our code. And the data here we have click view button. So whenever this button is clicked, it will take this, right? So the data is going to be, instead of click view button, give click edit button. So if this edit button is true, it will take the ID and perform the action. So only changes here edit. Okay, and then this thing. Rest and all, it is same as the previous thing. Here from text, we are not going to give text, we are going to give val. So make sure this val you update it. And here we are not going to show user module. We'll just remove this and here go back to our pop-up model, which is edit. You can see the ID, right? So instead of this insert ID, give edit data. So just change that to edit data and copy this ID. Only this ID is mandatory. These things are not mandatory. So it is of no problem if you don't change this. Make sure you change this ID. Now scroll down and here we are going to paste that. I am using ID, so ash edit data. When I click on that model, I'll be getting this form. Let me reload. Click on edit data. You can see I got that insert pop-up model which we have copy pasted it. Now here we have to do few changes, like we have to change the title and this save button is going to play a role of update button. Now let us go change those things here. Scroll up here. All these is going to be the same thing. Here the name, just the name. Change this edit data using Bootstrap pop-up model, and here instead of save button, update, and here also give update data. Now let us go reload, close this, reload once again, edit data. Here you can see you are getting edit data using Bootstrap pop-up model and name, email, phone, and we have the update button. So in this video particularly we are focusing on getting these data into form. Okay, I want these data to be displayed in this form. That is when I can edit, right? So for that what we have to do is the same thing which we have placed an Ajax here. We are showing that pop-up model. Here let us copy this edit, click edit button and go to code.php with the post method. So here also in code.php we'll be performing the same thing, but only thing while echoing we'll have a different thing. What we'll do is here also let's use a comment and tell insert data, just not to confuse, view data, and here we are going to tell edit data. For edit data also we'll be having the same thing. So let us copy paste this first and close this thing and come back, copy this, click edit button once again and paste it here. Control V. Now open this if condition. We require an ID because we are taking the ID from here. This is not view data. Make sure you are not confusing with view and edit. So this we require an ID. We have taken that ID here. We echoed it, and the query also is going to be the similar query which we are going to fetch individual ID. So we'll be having a where condition, and after that if the data is present we are looping. But here we are going to print that data in a form, right? In previous video we printed the data like this, but in this video I want the data to be printed here. So what we are going to do for that is we are just removing this, okay, and we'll be storing that in an array. So here we have to create an array. Tell this as array result, okay, is equal to, so I've just created an empty array here. Now here what I'll do is, once array is created using array, we have one function which is array push. So using that array push function, we are just going to pass this array variable which we have created, empty array variable, and then pass $row. So don't worry, this $row is coming from your while loop. Add a semicolon, and now we want this to be displayed in a JSON format. So I have a 2 line of code for that. Give header content type application. So content, so make sure the spelling is correct. Content type application slash JSON. We want to display it in JSON format, and then give echo JSON encoder and pass this array result variable. Now let us go test this. In index PHP, let us comment this and uncomment this. So we'll see what is the response that we are getting with this line of code. Go back to the page, reload. Here you can clearly see. Click on this edit data. You can see no record found. Why? So here we are getting no record found. Let us go check our code once again. Array push, all these things are correct. Go back to index. Here, okay. The thing is, we have to make this to text, because the val thing is coming inside this. We are going to show the response in this success, right? So we'll be using that dot val here inside and we are fetching. So here make it to text. So that is why we are not getting. Let us go check now. Reload, and now click on this edit data. Now you are getting your data in an array format. So here you have clicked ID number 3, you are getting it perfectly. Click on ID 2, you are getting the second user's ID. Click on ID 1, you are getting the first user's ID. Okay, so now we have got this perfectly. So the error was here, make this to text. Val will be using here. Now what we are doing is, we have to get this data here, right? So here we are getting exactly what we wanted. Now coming back here, now we have to get this data here. So here we have to use, let us comment this. Now here we have to use a for each and get this data. So how you will be using for each in JQUERY. So we have a function here which is JQ each. So using this we can get the data. Here we'll have a response. So copy paste this response. For this to be displayed automatically, make sure you go install your extension from here so that you will get. And here index in array, we'll have the key and the value. Okay. Now let us echo this and check. Console.log value of the name which is coming from the array. So here let us give name. We are just going to print. If this is working, then we'll be fetching it inside that form. Now let us go reload here and click on edit of user 3. I'm getting the name printed correctly, which is dummy. I'm just echoing name for now. Later on we'll be fetching all these details. So when I click on 2, I'm getting the second user's name, which is Anu. So here this is working perfectly. So let me comment this. Okay. And now to get those data, this data from this form, which is here, edit model. So change this to edit edit. Now to get this name from this form, we can either use class or ID. So here I'll use ID. So give a ID and tell name, copy, paste, and tell email. Here I'll tell phone. So now here, using that ID, $.val and tell value and pass name and give a semicolon. Here we are going to give that ID name which is here. Let us close this, which is in edit.php. Here is name. So copy this name, and here we are using ID, so give a hash. and paste that. Okay, now let us go reload and click on this user 3. Okay, now this is not showing, so we have to uncomment this. Okay, make sure you uncomment this model show. Reload once again and click on edit data. Now you can see you are getting that edit data and the ID is successfully coming. I mean, we are getting the name. Similar way we have to do it for email and phone number. Let's do that. Copy paste this and change this to email, phone. Similar way change this here to email and phone. Let us go reload and click on edit data. You can see you are getting those data in form. Now here I can edit this to Sri, and when I click on this update button it has to get updated. We have to perform the code on updation, so we'll be doing that in the next video. So for now in this video what we have done is we have got these data in a form. So that's it in this video. I hope this video was helpful. If you have any doubt or suggestion, let me know in the comment section. Like, share and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you guys in the next video.